This is your Weather Xtreme video for Sunday, July the 31st. The end of July has finally been reached. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. We'll be heading into August tomorrow. It doesn't look like there's going to be much change in the weather to mark this monthly change. Satellite image this morning shows that we do have a few clouds from the leftover thunderstorms yesterday evening that were occurring across parts of Mississippi. It looks like most of the clouds are in the western half of the state of Alabama, but we're getting some clouds in the sky even over in the parts of the northeast section. The surface weather pattern still features this high-pressure system over the southeastern U.S. that's been there for, it seems like, forever. Maybe not quite that long. In the upper atmosphere, we're finally going to be saying goodbye to this little troughiness that's been with us for several days now. That little troughiness will be moving off to the east and weakening, so the ridge is going to be the big thing coming into our pattern for the next week or so. Temperatures across central Alabama this morning starting the day out generally in the lower half of the 70s. I do see that we have a few locations dipping down into the upper 60s. Fort Payne's at 68. I'm sure that must feel a little bit nicer than 74. And the radar mostly clear across the state of Alabama. We do have a few showers in the vicinity of the Cumberland Plateau across north central Arkansas and just off the coast at Apalachicola. Watch warning map is pretty empty. Still some heat advisories along the South Carolina, North Carolina coast, and some heat warnings in the central and northern Rockies. That's the reddish-pink areas over there. QPF, the quantitative precipitation forecast, is calling for on the order of 1 to 1.5 inches of rain across Alabama. Remember, this is kind of broad brushing what the potential is for some spots, and I do believe we'll see that. Unfortunately, the rain continues to be in the form of showers, thunderstorms, and the result is we're not having much of an impact on the drought conditions because the rain is too spotty. Storm Prediction Center has a large marginal risk area from northern Louisiana and northwestern Mississippi all the way up into the Dakotas, and a slight risk over a good portion of North Dakota. For day 2, the marginal risk is in parts of Wisconsin and the Dakotas and extreme northern Iowa. And then for day 3, we see 2 areas, one centered primarily on Minnesota, and then the second area over parts of Montana. And the tropics, while they're not too busy, they are busier than we've been seeing. And we have 2 areas. The first one is approaching the Lesser Antilles, moving a little faster than I thought it was yesterday. And that's this system right here. And it's moving through the Lesser Antilles. Still no organized circulation yet. Forecasts are that it will continue to move across the Caribbean and perhaps into the Yucatan, and after that, at least the southwest Gulf and perhaps Mexico. The second system is lagging behind and moving much slower. It's also very disorganized, has a much lower probability of developing at all as the conditions are just unfavorable out there. And the models continue to pretty much show it moving towards the Lesser Antilles, and that would probably be in 3 or 4 days. All right, the 06Z GFS model run is what we're basing this discussion off of. And there goes our trough today, so the trough moving on out, and that just keeps us in the humid air, and we continue to see showers and thunderstorms a possibility during the afternoons. Monday, the trough is gradually moving away, and noticed over Louisiana we have the 594 height contour, so the heat ridge is building in, and that just keeps us pretty much in isolated to scattered showers. Tuesday, the ridge continues to build stronger. We see the ridge even stronger on Wednesday as it moves in from the southwestern United States and builds across the southeastern United States. But once again, it's not much change in the forecast, just isolated to scattered storms. Nothing that I would describe as widespread. The ridge is still there with the main traveling weather systems Thursday well to our north. As a matter of fact, they're not even in the United States. They're in Canada. Friday, the traveling systems still well to our north. The ridge still holding, but those traveling systems up there are beating it down just a little bit. But no air mass change, so we're not seeing anything but just scattered showers. By the time we reach Saturday, the ridge is showing some signs of kind of dampening down just a little bit, but not a great deal. And then a week from today, you see that the ridge is a little bit pushed back, and we see the 591 contour over northern or northwestern Mexico. But once again, it just keeps us in some form of showers. And also, I didn't mention it, but on that 500 millibar pattern, you see the first tropical system is the one that's over the southwest Gulf of Mexico. All right, looking out into voodoo country, this is the 10th of August. And yesterday, the GFS was really bullish on that 594 heat contour or height contour and the ridge building in across the eastern half of the country. Today, we flipped again. Any surprises there? And now we're seeing a bit of a troughiness into the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys on the 10th of August. By the time we reach the 13th of August, we see that the troughiness, sort of a general troughiness, is still there with the ridge primarily along the Rockies. But notice what's happening in the Gulf, and this has got to be the second system. Also, the GFS suggesting it's going to come all the way across the Caribbean. And then by the time we reach the end of the period, 372 hours, whoa, what attracts your attention here? Well, I don't think it's the ridge, and I don't think it's the trough. It's that big closed upper low over the central Gulf. So looks like we certainly are going to have some things to talk about in the near future. But in the meantime, the pattern is one of troughiness over the eastern half of the country, which keeps us out of the extreme heat, and then also the ridge over the western part of the United States and the Rockies, which keeps them in the extreme heat. And who knows where that tropical system might go. If you watch Weather Brains, Kevin Selly would probably say, Galveston, oh Galveston. Oh, well, I'm not a singer. That'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this morning. Aren't you glad you stayed till the very end? I expect to have the next one posted first thing on Monday morning. And reminder, James is on vacation until next Thursday, so we will have continue to have one a day through the time he returns. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great day, and Godspeed.